On some New Jersey Transit railroad crossings, when the train stops at a station, the gates go up to let the cars through. Then, when the train starts to move forward, the gates will come back on and block the cars again. For years I've been trying to figure out how to get the crossings in this game to do this, and I finally cracked the procedure. Here's how it works. First, you have a railroad crossing, you have one of these ATLS triggers before the station to turn the crossings on. Over here you have a trigger on the railroad crossing that is triggering is over here. This is the trigger that'll turn it off, so that when the train stops at the end of this platform, this turns it off and the gates will go back up. Now at this point the train is stopping at this track mark right here, and the gates are up at this time. Now to make the gates go back down is a little bit tricky. First you have to have a junction right here and an invisible track going away from the main line. The switch is set toward the invisible track so that while the train is stopping at the station, it won't trigger this trigger right here, which will turn the crossing back on. So now you have to make the train switch this switch to the left on its own. To do that, you have to put another track mark right here, right in front of the junction. This causes the switch to switch to the left, and then it'll automatically trigger this trigger, which will turn the crossings back on. You have to tell the train to wait at this track mark for a little while, so that it'll have time for the gates to go down. Then it'll cross the railroad crossing and hit this trigger, which will turn it back off. Now, an important thing you should note about the track marks is the first track mark, the one that'll cause the train to stop at the station. The radius for this track mark is 20 meters. However, this track mark, the one that'll cause the train to move just enough to make the crossing turn back on, its radius is only 1 meter. This is important because if you set the radius too far, the train will basically not go anywhere, and it won't trigger the second railroad crossing. Because if the radius is so far, the train is already near it, it'll think, I'm already at the track mark, so I don't have to move anywhere. And that was the issue that I was facing for a while, until I figured out how to change the radius of the triggers. So that's how you get the crossings to turn off while the train is stopped at a station, and get them to turn back on when the train leaves. Later I'll show you a demo video of what it looks like.